Men often look at places women never expect when real connection begins to form. It is not about the obvious features or simple attraction, but about quieter signals that reveal genuine closeness. Many women miss these moments because they expect connection to look like physical interest. In reality, when a man starts feeling something deeper, his gaze becomes slower, softer, and more intentional as he quietly tries to understand whether the connection is real or temporary. As emotional closeness grows, the way he looks at you changes completely. His eyes stop scanning and start studying, holding moments instead of chasing quick glances. What he is searching for has little to do with physical beauty and everything to do with something authentic that cannot be faked or forced. While attraction is often bold and obvious, real connection is quiet, subtle, and reflected in body language that even he may not fully understand. His breathing slows, his movements become gentler, his voice naturally softens, and his eyes begin telling a different story. He is no longer simply looking at you, he is trying to truly see you. Think about the last time someone made you feel genuinely seen, not admired for your appearance, but recognized for who you really are. That feeling of being understood is where real connection begins. That feeling of someone seeing beyond your surface is what a man searches for when real connection begins. He is no longer just looking at you. He is looking for the real you, the version that appears when you stop performing. For many men, connection starts before conversations, shared interests, or perfect timing. It begins in quiet observation, in small, unplanned moments that reveal who you truly are. If you want the full truth about the 6 secret places men stare when real connection forms, hit like so more women can see this. The details he notices may seem random or unimportant to everyone else, but to him, they become proof that something meaningful is happening. Real connection is not built through romance, seduction, or saying the perfect words. It grows in the spaces between those things, in natural moments when you are simply being yourself. Men often remember these small details, replay them later, and wonder why they cannot stop thinking about you. As the connection deepens, his attention keeps returning to those same subtle details without him even realizing it. His eyes begin building a picture of who you are, not just how you look. In those moments, he is not simply observing, he is experiencing feelings of safety, warmth, familiarity, and belonging. Those quiet glances become emotional anchors, making him feel understood and naturally drawn closer to you. Have you ever felt like someone was truly studying you? Not judging or analyzing, but quietly trying to understand who you are. That is how a man often looks when real connection begins. His gaze becomes softer, more patient, and fully present as he notices the small details that make you uniquely you. Many women believe closeness comes from being perfect or impressive, but those things create admiration, while genuine closeness grows from seeing someone's authentic self and wanting to stay even closer. The first place his eyes often go when connection starts may surprise you, because it seems so ordinary. He is not looking for beauty or perfection, but for signs of comfort, presence, and emotional openness. His attention naturally moves toward vulnerability and authenticity, and one of the first places he notices is your hands. They quietly reveal emotions that words often cannot express. Your hands show nervousness, ease, excitement, hesitation, and whether you feel safe in the moment. A man who feels a growing connection watches how they move, whether they stay relaxed, reach toward him, pull away, or gently fidget. He returns to them throughout the conversation because they help him understand how you are feeling without you saying a word. Those subtle movements tell him whether the connection between you feels natural and real. These changes tell him the closeness is growing, deepening, and becoming mutual. They confirm what he is feeling is not one-sided. The way you touch objects around you matters too. How you hold a coffee cup, how you adjust your phone, how you brush hair behind your ear. Men notice these movements because they show your natural rhythm, your comfort level, and your ease in the moment. A woman who is truly present moves differently than one who is performing. Her hands become expressive without effort. They gesture naturally. They rest without tension. And a man feeling connection will watch these movements like they are telling him secrets about who you really are. Then comes the internal shift. The moment when his breathing changes slightly, when his shoulders drop half an inch, when his whole body settles into the space you are sharing. That is the sign he is now fully invested in understanding you. Not impressing you, not attracting you, but genuinely understanding you. Comment hands if you've ever noticed a man staring at your hands like this. And that shift changes where his eyes go next. But here is the part most women never catch. Before a man lets his attention move deeper into reading you, he confirms something critical. He checks whether this moment feels safe for both of you. Not physically safe, but emotionally safe. He searches for signs that you are open to being seen, not just looked at, that you are willing to be known, not just admired. And he finds that answer in your hands first. But then his eyes travel to the second place, a place that shows him even more about your inner world. After he has read your hands, after he understands your comfort level through those tiny movements, his eyes move upward in a way that feels almost careful, like he is approaching something delicate. And where his gaze falls next reveals far more than most women imagine. The second place men stare when they feel close connection is your eyes, but not the way you think. Not direct eye contact, not bold staring, not the confident gaze everyone talks about. He looks at your eyes when you are not looking at him. He watches them when you are focused on something else. When you are listening to someone across the room, when you are reading a menu, when you are lost in thought. Because your eyes, when you think no one is watching, tell the truth about what you are feeling in ways guarded eye contact never can. Men who feel connection starting become fascinated with your unguarded expressions. The softness that appears when you are relaxed. The slight sadness that flickers through when you think you are alone. The joy that lights up when something genuinely delights you. These real emotions, these unfiltered moments pull him deeper than any performed version of yourself ever could. He is not looking for beauty. He is looking for truth. And your eyes, when they are not performing, show him exactly that. But something deeper also happens in these moments when he watches your eyes while you are focused elsewhere. He starts imagining what it would be like to be the person you look at with that softness, to be the reason your eyes light up, to be the one who gets to see these expressions every day. Type eyes if you want me to reveal all 6 places men secretly stare at during deep connection. His mind begins creating a future that includes you. And that future feels more real every time he catches another genuine expression crossing your face. The way your eyes change throughout conversation matters enormously. Do they stay guarded or gradually soften? Do they remain distant or slowly warm? Do they hold walls or start letting someone in? Men track these shifts with surprising attention because each small change tells him whether closeness is actually forming or whether he is the only one feeling it. And nothing builds a man's desire for deeper connection more than seeing your eyes gradually open to him across minutes and hours. Then comes another shift, a deeper one. The moment when he realizes he is not just interested in you, he is beginning to care about you. There is a difference. And that difference shows up in where his eyes travel next. Because the third place men look when they feel close connection growing is not about reading your emotions anymore. It is about understanding your world. It is about seeing what matters to you. It is about learning who you are through what surrounds you. The third place men stare when they feel intimate connection is whatever you interact with most naturally. Your phone when you check it, your bag when you reach for something, your keys when you fidget with them, the book you are carrying, the notebook you write in. Not because these objects matter, but because how you handle them tells stories about your life. He wants to understand. He watches how carefully you treat your things, whether you are organized or chaotic, whether you are protective or casual. These details paint a picture of who you are when he is not around. And a man feeling connection desperately wants to understand that version of you, the everyday version, the real version that exists outside this moment you are sharing. Men who feel closeness growing become almost detective-like in their observation. They notice the worn corner of your favorite book, the sticker on your phone case, the small tear in your bag you have not fixed. These imperfections do not turn them off. They pull them closer because imperfection means reality. It means you are not performing. It means he is seeing the actual person, not the polished version created for moments like these. And that authenticity creates closeness faster than any perfect presentation ever could. When a man stares at these everyday objects in your life, he is not judging them. He is trying to imagine himself in that life. He is wondering what it would be like to be part of your normal routine, to see these objects every day, to understand the small habits and patterns that make up who you are. His mind is already building a bridge between his world and yours, trying to figure out if they could fit together naturally. The way you move through space matters too. How you organize yourself, how you handle transitions, how you manage your belongings. A man feeling connection watches all of this because it shows him your rhythm, your pace, and your approach to life. And he is subconsciously asking himself whether that rhythm matches his, whether your pace feels comfortable next to his, whether life with you would feel natural or forced. He is gathering information his heart needs to decide if this connection is worth pursuing deeper. After he has observed your hands, studied your eyes, and noticed your things, his attention shifts again. But this time, the shift is more emotional, more vulnerable, because the fourth place men look when they feel close connection involves risk. It requires him to admit, even just to himself, that this is becoming more than casual interest, that what he is feeling is moving towards something real. The fourth place men stare when they feel intimate connection is your mouth when you are not speaking. Not your lips, the way attraction works, but your mouth in its resting state, the natural position it holds when you are listening, when you are thinking, when you are simply being quiet in someone's presence. Share this video so other women don't miss these hidden connection signals. Because your mouth, when it is not performing speech or smiles, tells him whether you are at peace, whether you are comfortable in silence, whether you can simply exist without needing to fill every moment with words or energy. Men feeling real closeness crave that comfort. They are searching for someone who does not require constant entertainment, someone who can share silence without it feeling awkward or empty, someone whose presence feels calming instead of exhausting. And your mouth in those quiet moments shows him exactly that. If your lips stay relaxed, if your jaw stays soft, if your whole face maintains ease during pauses in conversation, he feels safe. He feels like this connection has room to breathe, like there is space for something real to develop without pressure or performance. When a man watches your mouth in these quiet moments, he starts thinking about closeness in a different way. Not physical closeness, but emotional closeness. The kind that exists in comfortable silence. The kind where you can sit together without talking and it feels more connected than any conversation. He is imagining what it would be like to have mornings with you where words are not necessary. Evenings where silence feels full instead of empty. Moments where just being near each other is enough. The shape your mouth makes when you are thinking fascinates him too. That slight purse when you are concentrating. The small movement when you are working through an idea. The gentle bite when you are holding back a comment. These unconscious expressions show him your thought process. They give him a window into your mind. And a man feeling connection wants that window. He wants to understand how you think, what captures your attention, what makes you pause and consider before speaking. Men notice when your mouth softens during conversation too, when the tension leaves your jaw, when your lips relax from their polite smile into something more natural. This shift tells him you are lowering your guard. You are becoming more yourself. You are letting him see past the social version into the real version. Then comes the deepest shift of all. The moment when everything changes from this is interesting to this is important. The point where his casual interest transforms into genuine care. The fifth place men stare when they feel intimate connection is your shoulders and the way you carry tension. Not in a physical attraction way, but in a protective way. He notices when your shoulders are up near your ears, when they are tight and defensive, when they are carrying stress you have not mentioned. And something in him wants to fix that, wants to make you feel safe enough to drop them, wants to create space where you can release whatever weight you are holding. This is not about control. It is about care. A man who feels real connection becomes sensitive to your discomfort in ways he cannot explain. Your tension bothers him, not because it affects him, but because it affects you. He starts noticing when you shift uncomfortably, when you adjust your posture to relieve some ache, when you roll your shoulders trying to release tightness. These small movements pull his attention because his heart wants you to feel at ease. When a man watches your shoulders throughout conversation, he is tracking whether his presence helps or hurts. Do your shoulders relax as time passes? Do they gradually drop as you become more comfortable? Or do they stay tense, signaling that something about this interaction does not feel safe? This feedback matters enormously to him. It tells him whether the connection he is feeling is mutual or one-sided, whether you are opening to him or staying closed. Men feeling close connection also notice how you breathe. They watch your shoulders rise and fall. They track whether your breathing is shallow and anxious or deep and calm. They sense when you take that one deep breath that signals relief or release or a shift in your emotional state. These observations might seem small, meaningless even, but to a man who is starting to care, they are everything. They are the evidence that you feel safe with him, that his presence creates comfort instead of stress. The way you hold yourself when you are vulnerable matters too. Do your shoulders curl forward protectively? Do they stay open and exposed? Do they shift between the two depending on the topic? A man tracking these changes is learning when you feel safe to be vulnerable and when you need to protect yourself. And that information helps him understand how to create more moments of safety, how to be someone you can relax around, how to earn the kind of trust that allows real closeness to grow. Then comes the final shift, the deepest one. The moment when a man realizes this connection has moved past casual interest into something that is changing him, something that is making him think differently about his future, something that is creating feelings he did not plan for and cannot easily control. If this surprised you, comment connection below. The sixth place men stare when they feel intimate connection is the most revealing of all. It is the place that tells him whether this feeling is temporary or whether it is something that might actually matter. Real closeness is not about perfection. It is not about being impressive or charming or always knowing what to say. It is about being real enough that someone can see you and still want to move closer. It is about showing the unpolished parts and watching someone's interest deepen instead of disappear. It is about vulnerability being met with care instead of judgment. When a man feels safe enough to care and you feel safe enough to be seen, connection becomes something rare. At that point, he stops focusing on your looks and starts noticing your overall presence, the energy you bring, and the feeling you create just by being there. His eyes soften because he is no longer analyzing you, he is simply experiencing you. It is your warmth, calm, joy, and authenticity that stay with him long after you are apart. As the connection grows, he notices less about how you look and more about how he feels around you. Does he feel accepted, understood, energized, safe, and more like himself? Your presence answers those questions without saying a word. When a man consistently feels more alive, peaceful, and real around you, he is already beginning to fall for you. He naturally starts imagining what life would feel like with your presence in his everyday moments, from ordinary mornings to difficult days and joyful celebrations. So when you catch him watching your hands, your eyes, your shoulders, or simply taking in your whole presence, understand that he is doing more than looking. He is connecting, caring, and quietly wondering whether this bond could become something lasting. Real closeness is not built through perfection, but through two people feeling safe enough to stop performing and simply be themselves. That is how a moment becomes a foundation for a meaningful relationship. Like, comment which of the 6 places shocked you most, and subscribe to learn how men really build intimate connection.